Okay. Okay. I'm trying to share my screen.
Okay, sir.
All right. I don't know what it's saying here. Just a minute. Sorry.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah,
That was
thank you. I'm not part of this one.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now, sir.
All right. I hope I can be able to share my screen.
Yes, you should, sir.
Right. So let's see. Okay. Here we are. So, right.
Yeah, we can
So
see it now.
you can all see my screen now, I hope.
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right. Though I'm not hearing you guys very well. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, sir. We can see you and we can see your
We can
screen.
hear you, sir.
we can
Right.
hear you.
We can hear
We're
you
muting our
loud and
mics.
clear, sir.
Okay, thank you. So let's start then. So referencing is what we are discussing. So basically, we'll look at reference management. Of course, some of you are already aware of this. You already know you've been doing it. So for you, it will be sort of like a revision. For the others, it will be more or less maybe an introduction to this topic. So basically, in talking about referencing, we find that the process of managing and updating our references or citations can be quite arduous, critical. That's really difficult, but it's a critical part of the scholarly writing process. And this task can be particularly vexing for all of us because it's quite long. I mean, a typical dissertation is going to be between 80 to 120 pages. Or if we're talking about casebooks, sometimes they are almost 200 pages. So that's quite lengthy. And then it goes through a process of much revision, you know, first draft, second draft, interim draft before you finally arrive at your final version. After all this, it essentially demands precision, accuracy, and correct formatting. Too often, when we look at a lot of works, we find that after the person has turned it in, the references are poorly formatted, and the work is returned, and the person is asked to go correct the formatting. So today, I'm going to provide a brief perspective on tools that might be helpful to each and every one of you in the process of writing your dissertations and your dissertation proposals. So you may or may not be familiar with reference management software or citation managers as they are sometimes called. So we have different types. And this is by no means an exhaustive list, but this is a list of the common ones that people are aware of. So we have EndNote, Zotero, RefWorks, and Mendeley. Some of you have used Mendeley, some of you have used Zotero. I don't know if anyone has used EndNote.
No.
You know, I don't know if anyone has used EndNote.
No, sir.
So, what do all these tools have in common? They allow us to be able to create a database of sources from which you can compile citation information, and automatically create in-text citations and reference lists. So if we have enough time, I probably may be able to demo some of this functionality. Not only do this allow us to be able to create a database of sources and also to compile citation information, but it also helps us to be able to annotate research articles, as well as create libraries for specific projects. So in a sense, it helps us to be organized and to be able to organize our references and to be able to really organize what we're doing. So for a lot of people who may be working together with others, so you and your co-authors, these tools can be very, very useful. And it helps to be able to collaborate because you could share references between your co-workers and also proofread for publication. Are we all here together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, because I'm not sure if the network has gone. So when we talk about reference management software, what really are we talking about? Well, I've already said that this basically helps us to be able to store, to be able to organize our resources and reference information. And they also help us to be able to create reference lists or biographies from our stored items. There's a variety of software. Some of them are free, some of them are not free. And each of these software differ in terms of features. And what may work for one person may not necessarily be suitable for another person. So basically, in making a choice, each and every one of us will have to decide for ourselves which tool will work best for us and which ones will best address our particular needs. At the end of the day, the most important consideration should be that whatever tool, whatever reference management software that we choose should be one that makes our life easier, not harder, but easier. The reference management software cannot guarantee perfection. Let's be clear about that. In using it, you cannot expect that 100% of the time you're going to get 100% accuracy and precision. But like what I usually tell people, I expect that if you use it, it should take you about 95% of the way, which is a whole lot of the way. And the remaining 5%, is, well, the part that you probably have to do some little manual work, but that saves you a whole lot of time. It's a question of reducing your turnaround time from as much as 2 weeks to 4 weeks to basically a couple of days. So the accuracy of the references will still remain primarily our responsibility, and we would want to be able to double check the references or citations to make sure that they're in the proper style. So what considerations if we're choosing software? Well, you want a place to be able to store and organize resources. I mean, this goes without saying. But at the same time, do you intend to collaborate or network with other researchers? Do you need to create bibliographies for class papers or projects or proposals or dissertations or theses? And then knowing what you need the software to do will help in choosing the software that offers those features. At the same time, other considerations include costs. Some are free, some you have to pay for. And for those who are free, some of them may offer limited storage, online storage, and they might charge additionally for more storage or increased storage capacity. Some may offer a student discount, others may not do so. So the point is you want to check pricing to decide which is the best option for you. Well, I always say that the free option is often best. At least you're not paying anything for it. So free is good. But there's technical support. Oftentimes, free software is also open source. So it means that technical support may be really limited. And so in trying to troubleshoot, you probably want to do a lot of reading online, asking questions from people who know how to use the software, and then trying to fix the problems yourself. So if this is something that is really, really difficult for you, then you probably may want to consider the paid options. Then you want to talk about the learning curve. How quickly or how much time are you going to spend to be able to learn how the software works? Some are easy to understand, some a bit more difficult, some may make sense to you, some may not make sense to you. Some may have a lot of tutorials available or training available online. Others may just not have any of those things. Then you want to consider your hardware requirements. How well suited is your computer to use the particular reference software? Some of them use quite a lot of memory. So if you have a low-end computer, it may probably struggle to use that particular software. You also want to consider online storage and syncing. Is it available? So if, I mean, in the worst case scenario, your system crashes or is stolen, are you able to recover your references? So that's one consideration for this. Then most citation reference or reference management software offers some sort of word processor plugin. So with that, you're able to type directly into your Word document, your references, and be able to generate inline or in-text citations and reference lists. So that's a very useful feature to consider. We've already talked about collaboration and networking. So I'm not going to over-elaborate on this. There's also portability or transferability. Are you able to transfer your references from one software to the other? So that's also one consideration you want to look at. There's a link on Wikipedia. If you click on it, so it compares different reference management software. So if I click on this, you will see that it's going to take you to this particular page on Wikipedia. If you scroll down, you'll see this is a huge table. So you can see that the list of reference management software provided was not quite exhaustive. So it compares them on different parameters. So this is an option, and in your free time, you can go look at it and just have a general idea of how these things work. So, right. You can also play around with what is available there. So you can download, experiment, try them out, learn about it, and become familiar with it. Basically, the best way to learn a lot of these things is by being hands-on. What you do, you are less likely to forget compared to what you read about and sounds abstract. Nothing restricts you to using only one particular program. You can use several. I personally use both Zotero and Mendeley. And sometimes I even add in a third, depending on what particular need I have. So, having looked at reference managers in general, want to consider Vancouver style referencing, which is basically the type of referencing we tend to use in our program and in what we are doing. Of course, referencing styles differ depending on what you are doing. We have Harvard style, MLA style, the Vancouver style, which we're talking about. We also have APA style. So basically, it all depends. So for our consideration and for our purposes, those of us writing proposals, writing dissertations, maybe sending articles to biomedical journals, we tend to use the Vancouver style referencing. And here's a point to note. The Vancouver style referencing has different variants. So it depends on which particular variant that you want to use. But basically, it refers to a numbered reference style that was first specified in the uniform requirements for manuscripts submitted to biomedical journals. And so by numbered reference, this distinguishes it from the other style, which is known as author year style, the type you possibly may find in APA style. So these formatting guidelines were originally published in 1979 by a group of editors based in Vancouver. So that's why it's called Vancouver style, because the original publication was by people based there. However, the expanded guidelines, you can find them at the website for the International Committee of Medical Journal Editors. So when you have time, you can go there and look at the documents that are uploaded there. Essentially, the uniform requirements focus on the ethical and technical aspects of publishing biomedical manuscripts. So authors will find information on the preparation and formatting of various parts of the manuscript, including the title page, the abstract, the abstract, the tables, figures, and references. And so the formatting of references that is required, you will find it, it's based on the style developed by the United States National Library of Medicine. And the resource for that is Citing Medicine. So sorry, just a minute. So the resource for that is Citing Medicine. So if I click on this link, that should take us to that particular resource. It's actually a whole book. It's over 1,000 pages. It's about 1,500 and something pages. So it's essentially a reference manual, more or less. So you can see me scrolling through the various chapters and appendices. Each chapter addresses particular needs. So you can see chapter 1 talks about journals, chapter 2 talks about books, conference publications, and so on. So it's a reference just to consult. Nobody's expecting you to read it through and through from page 1 to the page 1,500 and whatever. So I provide here some sample Vancouver reference styles depending on the publication type. So for example, you can see publication type here is journal article. And these are various formats of the journal article referencing depending on the number of authors. So if it's one author, it has some particular referencing format. 6 authors, typically you want to, between 2 to 6 authors, you typically want to cite all the authors. And if it's more than 6 authors, depending on which one you're using, you want to cite all the 6 authors and then include et al. Some other variants will have you cite just the first 3 authors and then include et al. So whichever style you choose, you should be consistent with it. So this is an example of how to cite an entire book. Article or chapter in a book with 2 authors, presentation, not yet published, greater than 6 authors. So essentially there are different styles depending on the reference. So generally speaking, in creating our reference, there are some points to note. So references are listed in numerical order, in the same order in which they are cited in the text. And then the reference list appears at the end of the paper or the thesis or the dissertation. The reference list begins on a new page and it should be titled References. And it should include all and only cited in the text. However, if you cited unpublished items such as correspondence, you won't include them in your reference list. And then you use Arabic numerals, and then if you are going to abbreviate the journal titles, they should be abbreviated in the style used in the National Library of Medicine catalog. And then you want to check the reference details against the actual source. So basically what we are saying here is that whatever you are referencing, you should make sure that you have read it. And then you should be consistent in your referencing style across the document. So here we see an example of a reference list. So here we see an example of a reference list here. So typically by the time you create a reference list, you're going to have something like this. So are there any questions at this point?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Did I go too fast? Was I too far?
No.
Is it clear?
It is.
Is it clear?
To an extent.
So are there any questions?
Sir, please, if I may ask, sir. Yes, sir. Transferability between 2 softwares and utilizing more than one software for a particular project. I don't know if Zotero and Mendeley, I think they have some transferability, but I had some difficulties trying to transfer my references from Mendeley to Zotero. I don't know if there's any pointer that can actually help in doing that.
Okay. Okay, well, you can see I've opened my Mendeley. So if, for example, you go to references here, I mean,
Sorry,
not
sir,
reference.
we can't see the Mendeley now. You may have to share that
I
Mendeley
thought
separately.
I was sharing my screen.
It's just
Okay,
the
just
document, the
give me a minute.
PowerPoint
No,
you're
don't worry,
sharing, sir.
just give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Okay, sir.
So let's see. Sharing is paused. Bring your sharing window to the top form. Okay, so if I resume sharing, okay, so let's see. I'm sharing this now.
Hello, sir.
Can you
Still,
see?
okay, yes, we can.
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay, fine. So, Dr. Egbase, to address your question, I'm using a Mac, so there'll be slight differences in the interface. But basically, if you go to your Mendeley desktop under Settings or Preferences, if you click on that, you see there's a tab that says Zotero. Isn't it?
Okay, yes.
So, see that? So if you say Zotero here, if you check this that says Zotero integration,
Integration.
I will do that for you, right?
Okay.
So, but if here you want to locate where your Zotero database is. Typically, it will be where you install your Zotero too. All right. So if I do this,
yes, sir.
so there you go. It's just that I cannot recall where my Zotero is installed on this, but I can find it. I can find it basically by opening the Zotero. It will show me where its database is stored. So if I open Zotero, just a minute. So are you guys seeing my Zotero?
Yes.
Are you sure you are seeing
No,
Zotero?
we're not seeing the Zotero. It's still on the Mendeley.
We're still seeing it's still the Mendeley.
Okay, just a minute. So let's do this. Are you seeing the Zotero now?
Not yet, sir.
Okay. I think we are now.
Okay, yes. I can see Zotero now.
We can see the Zotero now.
Okay, fine. So if I go to Zotero here, still the same under preferences. So if you check here, sorry, I think it's under advanced. I hope so. Files and folders. So here, see it here. Can you see here under advanced?
No, sir.
Yes. We can see.
Then under the advanced, you can see files and folders. I'm rolling my cursor right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Those highlights are not showing.
I'm sorry?
Those links are not showing.
Those things, they're not showing, sir. All we're saying is
it's just the
title.
It's just the title.
Yeah, just the title.
Okay, just a minute. I don't know what's going on here.
I think any new page has to be shared or something.
Yeah, I'm sharing it now.
Oh,
I'm just wondering.
Maybe it's the drop-down menus and all that are not showing.
Yes, it's the drop downs that are not showing.
Okay, your drop down is not showing. Oh, I get. I see. Yeah, it's drop down that is not showing. So just give me a minute. Sorry, just a minute. Are you? Just a minute. Sorry. Let me resume share. Do a new share.
Okay. Yes, we can see the advanced. Yes.
Sorry.
We can see the advanced section now. Window. Page. Yeah.
Okay. Just a minute. Aha. So you can see it now.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So under advanced here, if you click on this tab that says files and folders, are we all there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here you see data directory location.
Yes.
You see here default.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So the default data directory here is shared in this folder I'm seeing, users Onu/Zotero. So once I know this, I know how to share my Zotero with Mendeley. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to close this now, right? And then I'm going to show you my where it's my Mendeley desktop. I'm going to share that with you now. So are you seeing my Mendeley desktop?
Yes, sir.
Aha. So we're back here now. So this Zotero tab under Mendeley. So if I come here and do browse, and then I go to the folder it showed me, which is supposed to be my own home folder here. Here, I look for Zotero. So here's the, oops, sorry.
Sir, they are so small.
Yes, sorry about that. So, can you see this?
Yes,
So
yes, we can see.
That's the Zotero.
With the eye of it. That's
Okay.
Mendeley, sir.
I'm in Mendeley, yes.
But,
I'm trying to show you
but
how
it's browsing
to.
the Zotero where it's installed in the system.
If I open this, and then if I click this, and that's it. If you pay attention on this here, you can see how my cursor is.
Yes.
Yes.
At the base there, you
Yes.
see the
And
folder
this
that's
Mendeley.
imported.
This Mendeley.
Okay. We can see the folder Zotero library down there.
Yeah. So if I
Okay.
click on it, all my Zotero references are in there. You can see
Wow.
that.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's
Okay.
how you share it.
Oh, okay. All right.
The other way round, to move from Mendeley to Zotero, is basically what you want to do is you export it.
Okay.
So you export.
Okay.
So you select the references you want and you export them. So you can see, let me do this. I don't want to do something that will cause me problems. I'm selecting just these few.
I understand.
So I'm going to come here, file. Can you see it says export?
Yes.
Export.
Yes.
So if you click on export, it's named as my collection. It's storing it in documents. And then these are the different formats. You can select BibTeX, RIS, or EndNote. So I'm going to leave it as BibTeX, and I do save. All right. So with that done, I think I will exit or minimize my Mendeley. And let's go back to the Zotero. So we're back in Zotero. You can see it, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So in the Zotero now, what I will
Import.
do here is I'll come to import. Yeah, got that.
Okay.
So import, you can see where do you want to import from. You can either import the file or even import directly from Mendeley. You can see that. You can
Yes, sir.
actually import that from Mendeley, but that will import everything from Mendeley. I don't want to do that because it will duplicate my whole
Work.
stuff.
Yes.
So I'll just use the file, continue. So I go into documents. Remember, we saved it as my collection.
Yes.
Yes.
So I have to look for it. So here it is, my collection.bib. I do this open. So it says here, it says, so you can decide what you want. Link to files in original location or copy files to Zotero storage folder. So I leave it as the default. Place imported collections and items into a new collection. Accept the defaults, and I do this. And you can see it's imported it in here. All right, if I click done, see it here. Can you see that?
Okay, can see my collection now. Yes.
Yeah. So that's how it works.
Yes, sir.
So I've answered your question, and at the same time I'm answering your question,
Yes, sir.
a very, very quick demo into Mendeley.
Yes.
So
any more questions? I think we should just make it interactive.
Yes,
Thank
the
you,
other
sir.
one,
Thank you
the
very
other
much,
one, thank you very much, sir. The other one of using citation apps in one document.
Okay, no, you probably would not use two different managers in one document.
One document.
No,
Okay.
it's going to cause conflicts. You probably want to use one for one document. So let me quickly illustrate how to use this. But first of all, what did you notice between these two reference managers? They look similar, isn't it?
It looks
Yes.
yes, sir.
They look similar. So you find that they basically have like a three column layout, isn't it? You have like a file tree here where you can organize. So in Zotero, you have your library and then different folders organized under the library. depending on what you are working on. So in Zotero, for example, you can see here, I have dissertation, isn't it?
Yes.
The whole folder is dissertation. If I drop it down, there are subfolders under it. So basically what you see here was literature search that was done, and each of the references organized according to the literature source. Can you see that? So for example, these are all the references that came from CINAH plus medicine. These are all the references that came from CINAH plus medicine. So here you find a number of references here. If I click on just one of these like this, you will see here in this third column, we're all together, Ba?
Yes, we're together, sir.
Oh, yeah, sir.
So you see here in this third column, details about this particular reference. So you see fields, item type, which is journal article, the title itself, different fields for the author, then the abstract, and then the publication title itself, which is malaria journal, the journal abbreviation, and so on. And then under this, if I click on this arrow, you will see it opens up.
Yes.
Now you can see that there is a note attached to this. So I'm just showing you how you can annotate your references in Zotero.
Yes, sir.
As you are reading, you want to organize your thoughts, something occurs to you, you can add a note. So see here, this is a note attached to the reference. So the note here says, I am not so sure of what this study contributes to the dissertation. It tries to estimate malaria net coverage while accounting for endemicity. Malaria endemicity might be an important consideration. It is possible that the burden of malaria transmission might have some interacting effect on the, and so on. So essentially, you see, this is how you can attach a note to that particular reference. Here is the PDF of the reference itself. The PDF of this reference. So if I click on it, you notice that this changes.
Yes.
Now, the thing about Zotero is that it has certain tools or add-ons that you can install that it will look at this PDF and import the bookmark. So right from inside Zotero, I can click on any portion of this reference and go to it. So for example, if I want to go to the abstract, if I do this, open link, it's going to open the document to the abstract section. I hope this is going to work today. It should work, hopefully. So there you go. So you see it's opened, and it's opened to the abstract section of the document. Sorry, I need to share it. Probably you guys are not seeing it.
We're not seeing that, sir.
Yeah, that's the problem with sharing screen. Yeah.
Another thing is with Zotero, it doesn't have an inbuilt PDF reader.
It doesn't need to have an inbuilt PDF reader. I don't know what advantage you think the inbuilt PDF reader will give to you. You can use the system's PDF reader. They do the same work. Yes, all right. You can annotate with the PDF, add your text, underline, and stop. The point is, once you use the add-ons and plugins that come with Zotero, it's able to import all those things back into Zotero. You guys can see the PDF now, I hope?
Yes, we can, sir.
Yes, we can. PDF. Yeah, so
yes,
I'm going to exit this because it's not really, so, oops, sorry. It seems I've stopped sharing my screen. Yes, so any questions? Any questions? Like I said, it's best to make it interactive. So let me do one last thing, because I know that you guys that are talking are people, you guys have been using this, so you're a bit familiar with it, but a lot of people are not talking. I can see Thomas, he ain't saying anything. Iweha is, well, seems, Iweha, I don't know if you are with us. Are you with us?
Iweha is here.
Yes.
Okay, but
I've been talking now.
sounding so,
I've been talking
all
now.
right, cool. So I'm going to open a brand new Word document,
Yes.
and I'm going to share the screen for you guys to see. So, I'm opening the document, so let's share so that you see what we're talking about. So where is that document? Here we are, Word document share, right? So you can all see the Word document, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so fine. How do I proceed now? I'm trying to think.
Can't see
How
you.
do I proceed? I need some text so that it
Let's
looks
cite
like.
let's cite
The
something.
malaria one.
Huh?
That malaria one.
Don't worry, let me just
You
borrow
want
from
to
the
copy
document I
case?
have. You said what?
No, not a chief. Chief, you can just write the cat jumps over the dog type song.
Oh, the way how it's not talking.
Okay.
Or the junior registers are not following.
They are
Okay, fine.
confused.
Yes.
Well, you don't learn this in a day.
Yeah.
It's an introduction. The expectation is to be aware of what's going on and to know that these things exist. So I've posted this document with text.
Okay.
You can see it, I hope.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So I populated with text 259 words. So that's about good. So now within this document, so I am going to exit from Mendeley because I don't need it. I'm going to use Zotero, right? So now, if you look at this Word document, you can all see it, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, there is a tab there that says Zotero. You can see the tab,
Yes.
this tab. So once you have installed Zotero, and I'll show you what you need to do. So Zotero, all right? So let's share Zotero. Let me see. I think I probably should do it this way. All right. So you guys can see the Zotero, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can.
Okay, fine. So in Zotero here, if you go to tools, you will see here add-ons. Or rather, let's go to preferences. If you go to preferences here and you come to this tab, you can see this tab, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Site.
Yes, we can
If
see.
you
Yes,
click
sir.
on it, you see two tabs there, styles and word processors. So under styles, you see there are different styles. So you see here, there is Vancouver style, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
You can see Vancouver here.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
here you can see here word processors.
Yes.
So it says here the Microsoft Word add-in is not currently installed, so I have to install it. So if I click on that, I'm going to install it, but the Word document is open, so it's asking me to close it and restart it. So let me just save this as malaria and anemia. Very quickly. I hope we are not run out of time now.
Oh, there's time. There's enough time, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. So it's asking me to close this. So, well, it says it was successful. Installation was successful. So if installation is successful, you see it's going to change and tell you reinstall. So it's successfully installed. If you are one of those that uses LibreOffice, you can also install into LibreOffice. So we included that. So now open the Microsoft Word document. Here was the document. You can see my document.
Yes, we can, sir.
Yes, we can.
The screen is.
So,
We can see
sorry?
it, sir.
Yes.
No.
Okay, fine. So you see the tab there that says Zotero.
Yes, sir.
So that's where you insert your references and stuff and all that from. Now, bear in mind, we said something that your reference starts on its own page, isn't it?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
what you want to do is create a new page. create a new page. So how do you do that? You do Control Enter or Command Enter, depending on which. So Control Enter if you're on Windows. So that has created a new page for me, and I'm adding references. See that? So this page is going to receive my reference list. You can see that. Huh?
Yes, sir.
You can see that.
Yes, sir.
So that will receive my reference list. But before we generate the reference list, we first of all want to cite it, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Want to check our references. So here is the document. Let me just add a title for it. Anemia and malaria, right? Cool. So we're here. All good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So now, under this tab that says Zotero, if you look here, you will see there are some buttons. Huh? Can you see these buttons?
Yeah.
So this first button says add/edit citations. This second button says add bibliography. Up here it says document preferences.
Yes.
Here it says refresh. Here it says unleak citation. So I'll tell you what each one does. Now, under document references, we start with that. We want it to give us what? Vancouver style, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So that is where you're going to select your document references. So we're going to do Vancouver style. So I select Vancouver style. And then here, can you see here?
Yes, sir.
This that says store citation as fields, recommended. So leave it as the recommended one. You could choose either as fields or as bookmarks. But bookmarks sometimes can behave funnily. So leave it as fields. Then here, it says use Medline journal abbreviations, right? So that's if you want to use abbreviations. Personally, I prefer not to use abbreviations, so I don't check it. And then here it says automatically update citation. So we'll leave it as it is. You click OK. So that has set the references for this particular document, okay? Our reference is going to be Vancouver and all that and all that. Now, we want to start inserting our citation. So, for example, my first sentence says, anemia and malaria frequently occur together in African children with malaria still a leading cause of anemia in endemic malaria countries. So that sentence needs to be properly referenced, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So, and see, I put my cursor where the reference is supposed to appear. Let me zoom this. I'm going to close this so that it appears larger so that you guys can see this.
After the full stop. Okay.
Right?
Sir.
So you can see my cursor here after the full stop. So I come here to add, edit citation. You can see this opens up, isn't it?
Yes.
So, and I start from my reference. So the reference I need to put in there is called, is by White. So I type, so you can search either by the journal article, by the article title or the author name. I know that the reference for that is by White, so I put in White. So anemia and malaria by White. So if I do that, and it has selected it, you can see here, White 2018 is highlighted in this search box, right? You can also see the red search box with Z.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If I do enter, can you see what has happened here?
Yes, sir.
It has inserted 1.
Yes, sir.
In bracket. Okay. So the next reference says childhood anemia poses a significant risk and all that. So I'm inserting my references one by one. So I'm going to do the next one. I'm trying to remember the name of the particular guy now. I'm not sure I can remember it, but I'll just put. Let me just put any random record. Okay. So what of if you want to put in multiple references?
Okay.
So you select, right? Right?
Come on,
I'm just putting anything, it doesn't mean much. And I do that. Can you see it numbers it 2 to 4? Not
Okay.
Yes.
3, 4. Because that's the referencing style, right?
Yes, sir.
And so on. So let me just put one final one.
It's looking more straightforward than Mendeley.
I'm sorry?
I said it's looking more straightforward than Mendeley, but some of us are used to
I don't agree. I don't agree.
It's
I
not
don't
more
agree.
it's not more straightforward.
Prefer Mendeley.
It's almost the same thing.
No, I
Mendeley.
no, I use Mendeley. I use Mendeley, but the way Chief is doing it,
Chief is showing so much love for Zotero.
it's looking so easy.
I'm yet to acquire this love.
I've not used the terror before. I use Mendeley, but it's looking so easy.
Well,
Zotero is very.
the thing is this, both of them are about
Are similar.
I think it's the same. And they have the same thing.
All right. In terms of workflow, the reason I started using Zotero had to do with, I discovered that Mendeley, once the document is very big, starts becoming funny. So just my own experience. Remember in my presentation, I said you use what works best for you,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So
Yes, sir.
that's really what it's all about. So nothing more than that, really, you know. So let me add one final reference, right? Can I remember that guy's name again? Okay, yeah, this is it. So I do this. So you can see that we inserted 7 references.
Yes, sir.
Let me add one. What happens if the reference is already inserted and is repeated? So let's choose white. So if you're inserting it, you will see that it shows you those you already cited. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
So I select from that and I do this. So you see here, one appears here. So what needs to be done? You want to insert your bibliography, your reference list. So you come to the page that you marked out, you put your cursor there, and you do this, right? That's going to take a while, I think. Can you see that? Can you see that?
Yes.
Can you see the list of references?
Yes, yes. Sir.
Yes.
So now, think about sorry for that interruption. Think about how long does it take you to type this list of reference? And let's assume, like Dr. Idabo, you have reference that is over 170. Which year are you going to finish typing and formatting them?
Mendeley will make it faster for me, Chief.
Well, I'm not saying anything. I'm saying think about typing it manually.
Yes, sir.
Compared to doing this.
Yes, sir.
You can see how quickly it took us. And then
Yes,
it's
sir.
already formatted.
Yes, sir.
I'm curious that none of you asked me any question about the way this is formatted, this Vancouver. It's not superscript.
Superscript.
It's
Yes.
not superscript.
I was wondering, sir. Yes, I was wondering, sir.
No, it's not superscript.
Yes, sir.
Remember, I told you something. I said Vancouver has different variations depending on which one you are using.
Okay.
Right? And some of those variations is how the reference is formatted in line or in text. Some use brackets, some use square brackets, some superscript. So basically what you want to do, you come back here to these document references. Can you see that? I'm clicking on it.
Yes,
I'm opening the Zotero. It's going to open. Now, if you scroll down here, can you see here this Vancouver? And below it, you see manage styles.
Yes, sir.
Manage styles. It's going to open the Zotero preferences. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
So you see here that says get additional styles. Can you see that?
Yes.
You have to download that.
Click on it. It's going to now open. You can see it's searching now. So I'm looking for Vancouver. So I'm going to type in Vancouver. Can you see different versions of Vancouver style are showing up? In fact, it found 22 different styles.
Yes.
You can see there is the one by Elsevier. So if you put your cursor over it, it's going to show you how it looks in a pop-up. So we scroll down because we are looking for the one that has what? Superscript.
Yes, sir.
Can you see it here? Vancouver superscript.
Yes.
This at the very bottom.
Yes, sir.
There's Vancouver superscript, only year in date, no issue numbers. No, we're not interested in that. But the point I'm making is you can see the different variants of the Vancouver style.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to click on this one, Vancouver superscript, and you can download it. Can you?
Yes, sir.
Right? So it's downloaded it, and okay, that's if you're adding it manually. So it's downloaded it, it's there now. So all I need to do now is exit from this, and I go back to my Word document. We're back in my Word document, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you go to document preferences. Can you see the Vancouver superscript we downloaded is showing there now? Huh? So if I select that, can you see that?
Yes, we can see that.
Yes, sir.
It's below it. So if I select that and I click OK, can you see what has happened? Look at the documents. Look at the references. Can you see what has happened? See here.
Okay,
Yes,
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 it's changed. They've changed.
Yeah.
Yes, they've changed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So basically, this is how it works. So I think this is as good a time as any to put a pause, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions to be asked before we close out?
So at least this one is
So,
clear.
Chief, please, if I'm going to ask another question, or
Well,
maybe
the
an
truth of the
advice.
matter is that this is not exhaustive. This is still an introduction, because we have not even addressed or looked at how to even use the reference manager when you are doing literature search. So
Yes.
we can get another time to show you, okay, you are on PubMed or you are online, you are browsing, how do you save your references, how do you organize them and stuff like that. So that, like I said, this is more or less a course which you guys wanted compressed into 1 hour.
No, sir. I don't know whether that's what he told you.
So we will stop here for today.
Okay, sir. If I may,
Yes,
sir.
Yeah, it's an hour now. You can stop here now.
If I can just, I haven't started or I just started. I kind of made a mistake in organizing my references.
Okay.
And it posed a challenge for me later on, in trying to select which project, I was actually working on. And even when you go through after the first draft, the second draft, you have to change some things. You have to update some of these references. It actually would help if organization starts at the beginning, not at the middle or close to the end, because it's really terrible. It mixes a lot of things up.
Dr. Egbasi, what you are describing basically has to do with versioning. A lot of you guys have still not learned what we call version control.
So I didn't hear that.
Version control.
Versioning and version control. Yes, because you see, in a document, if you are writing, you are going to have several drafts, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Depending on the stage at which you are. So typically, what you ought to have is what I call a sort of working document, which is updated as we go along. But what you will be sending out to your supervisor or to whoever else will be reading it will be what I call versions. So as an example, you have your base document, you started working on it, then you sent out the first draft. So you might call it version 1.
Yes, sir.
But the best way to actually save it is to save it and add the date to it. So it helps you. So you send that out, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
it comes back to you with comments and edits.
Yes, sir.
So when it comes back to you with comments and edits, what you now do is you take that comments and edits, right? And you process them. And then after you process them, you update your working document with the changes you have made. And then send out the version 2. So that way you will have, at this stage, you have 3 documents now. I hope you get what I'm saying. At this stage,
Sorry, I didn't really understand, sir.
well, it's probably something that we will have to demonstrate. Maybe if you guys come see me
In person, yes, sir.
So at
Yes,
this
sir.
point,
I think that's best.
You have documents. So you have your working document, you have your version 1, and then you have your version 2, which is updated from your version 1.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sounding a bit abstract, but once you see it in demo, it's very clear. It's straightforward.
Okay, sir. We'll come see you, sir.
We'll come to you.
Any question? Any other question? Stop.
Don't think.
Too abstract. Well, like I always tell people, these sort of things always seem abstract if even projected. The best way to learn, the best way to remember is hands-on. So what I'll suggest is you guys should download Zotero, those that don't have it, or Mendeley, whichever one is your preference, and download and play with it.
Yes, sir.
Play around with it, learn it. Once you do that, you won't have issues. If you have places you are not clear about, you can come and see me. I'll clarify.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, appreciate that so much, sir.
I hope this address you need.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for attending today's meeting. It's been a very wonderful and interactive session. And we've learned a lot. But I know it's not everybody that learned in this meeting anyway. Some people are kind of confused. Don't worry, with time, you get to understand. And like Chief said, we need to practice more and hands-on. You know, that's the only way we can pick up these skills and get used to them. So I want to encourage everyone to do that. Get these programs and start playing with them, just like Chief said. So I want to ask if there's any other questions before we end the class for today.
And they can meet us. They can meet the SRs. SRs can meet.
Yes, for the registrars, you meet the senior registrars.
Yeah.
So can put you through 1 or 2 things. Yes. So I wish I had this. I wish I had this lecture before part 1, Seth. It would have really helped. Yes. So for the registrars, really pick up what you can pick up.
Thank you, everyone. So I am going to put the meeting now. Thanks for everything.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. All right, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, boss.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Is Chief out? Okay.
Dr. Onu said, "What? She's the only one."
So she's the only one feeling.
So she's not the only one.
It's very normal, though. Very normal. That is the way you should feel. Actually.
Even when they write proposal, the thing is still shaking someone's head.
Exactly.
No, you see, some of those things Chief talked about, a lot of us got past it by manually going around those references, you know. And it was a lot of work. It's still a lot of work.
All right. Bye-bye. I should go. He wants me to go. Hey.
All right.
Let's have a good night, though.
Let's all have a good night. Thank you very much. I'll be ending the meeting now.